What's up YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with this week's episode, of WWE's biggest issue, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close and we are now on the road to 500 subs. Who knows, maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the summer, as I have something caught in my eye. Only time will tell, but as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it, on the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a Piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of this set. But it wouldn't be the first time that I pulled a collector's rare, because I also pulled this. Freshly pulled out of my Genesis Impact box opening that I did last year. It is a collector's rare B-Cop from the Underworld. This thing is absolutely stunning, you guys. The centering on the back is a bit off from top to bottom, but honestly, it really doesn't make much of a damn, because I am going to be getting this card graded, but I never came up with a good opportunity to do so. But with that being said, if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's biggest issue. Maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's biggest issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which basically ties with this week's episode, which is this: who should be next in line to challenge Femi for the NXT North American title? Let me know down in the comments below, and that is exactly what we are going to be talking about today. Is exactly that. Who should challenge Femi for the NXT North American title? Now, obviously, we know that the NXT North American title has had so much prestige over the years, dating all the way back to 2018. Think about that, you guys. Think about that. 2018, which was like, what, 7, 8 years ago? 6 years ago. Goes back 6 years. Excuse me. And the names that have won that title are just incredible. It dates all the way back to guys like Adam Cole, the first ever champion. Guys like Ricochet, guys like Johnny Gargano, who actually is the only 3-time North American champion in NXT history, which is absolutely unheard of. Then, of course, to guys like the Velveteen Dream, who, not sure if you guys saw, but I certainly did. He actually took to social media and apologized to everybody for his actions not just in WWE, but outside of WWE in terms of social media, which honestly, I mean, he seems like he's being sincere. Sorry guys, I got something in my eyes. Okay. Which he seems like he is sincere, but I mean whether or not Triple H will allow him to come back to WWE does remain to be seen. Odds are we could see him compete in the men's Royal Rumble match this Saturday, but only time will tell. But anyway, Velveteen Dream. Then there's Roderick Strong, Keith Lee, Damian Priest, Leon Ruff. Then there's who else was the NXT North American champion? I cannot think of the name. Bronson Reed, big Bronson Reed. Then there was Isaiah Swerve Scott. Then Carmelo Hayes. Then there was Cameron Grimes. Excuse me. Then of course there was Wesley. Then Dom. Then Trick Williams. Then there was Dragon Lee, and now Oba Femi. Think about that. You got more than a dozen. More than a dozen superstars have held that title. In fact, 4 of them are on the main roster right now, which is incredible. Everyone else is either still in NXT or they got fired from WWE. But as far as Oba Femi goes, I mean, we know he's going to be champion for quite some time. Given how dominant he was in the men's breakout tournament, I have a feeling that he's going to be champion for quite some time. We may even see him remain champion throughout this whole year, which is possible. However, I've comprised my list of 6 superstars who I believe actually deserve to challenge Oba Femi for that title, and one of them is Carmelo Hayes. Reason being is because, think about this. If, let's say, that the Trick Mello gang were to win the men's Dusty Cup. Let's say that. And they go on to become NXT Tag Team Champions. If Trick Williams were to become NXT champion, and Carmelo Hayes ends up becoming an NXT North American champion, they could become the NXT. They could literally become NXT's version of the 2-man power trip. And you guys are curious about who the fuck the group was. Well, that tag team actually comprised of Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin when they were both heels during the days of the Attitude Era. Yeah, if you can believe it, yeah. In fact, Austin at that time in 2001, he was the WWE champion, and Triple H ended up becoming the Intercontinental champion, and they went on to win the tag team titles at Backlash. So think about that, you guys. That's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy if you ask me. So plus Carmelo Hayes making history as just the second man to become the NXT North American champion 3 times. That right there puts you in the history books just right then and there. So I truly believe that Carmelo Hayes has I think he's ready to put himself back in singles title in the title picture for singles gold, and I think it's the NXT North American title. That's just how I see it. Next up, there's actually next up, Lexis King. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wait a minute, why this guy? This guy already had a title shot. Yeah, he did, but think about this: being the son of the loose cannon Brian Pillman, Lexis King has all the tools. You know, having competed in so many different promotions outside of WWE, he's able to take that knowledge and bring it over to NXT. And think about this. Aside from the defeat that he suffered at the hands of Dragon Lee, and also to Riley Osborne, he's been and also Carmelo Hayes at, what was it, Deadline. He's been on a huge roll as of late, and I kind of honestly, I have a feeling that 2024 is going to be the year of Lexis King. It's going to be interesting to see how. Excuse me. It's gonna be interesting to see how Lexis King uses his time in 2024. It's gonna be interesting. But next up, Eddie Thorpe. Eddie Thorpe, probably one of, if not the fastest rising star in NXT history in the last, in the last, I would say the last like 8 years at the most. Because when you think about fast rising stars in NXT, one name definitely comes into mind: Sami Zayn. Think about that, you guys. Sami Zayn was one of the fastest rising stars in NXT literally like a decade ago, and he went on to become NXT champion. It's the same thing with DIY. They became widely popular superstars in NXT, and they were all trying to get a spot on the brand. They were trying to get contracts, and management was like, no, we have nothing for you. But management ended up putting them in so many different matches over time, and once they started to get a string of victories along, management was like, you know what, maybe we were wrong about you guys. There you go, contract in hand. There you go. And they went on, and not only did they become NXT Tag Team Champions, but as individuals, Ciampa went on to become one of the longest reigning NXT champions of all time, whereas opposed to Johnny Gargano, not only did he become the only 3-time NXT North American champion in history, but he also went on to become NXT champion as well. So when you look at fast rising stars, Eddie Thorpe is up there. He is definitely up there, and he's been on a huge roll as of late. Yeah, sure, he may have had maybe like one or two maybe one or two losses here and there, but other than that, 2023 was indeed the year of Eddie Thorpe, and yeah, he's had quite a few big name matches in NXT, and I think 2024 is going to be the year that we see Eddie Thorpe become a champion. My opinion, it has to be the NXT North American title, because once you win that title, it essentially becomes a pedestal to making your way from mid card to megastar. No pun intended with LA Knight, who is a megastar, but you guys get the idea. And speaking of Eddie Thorpe, next up is his rival, Dijak. The clear case of big meaty men slapping meat. Yeah, you can never go wrong with that. But other than that, Dijak has had a pretty decent amount of premium live event matches in NXT. One of the notable ones that he's had was at NXT Takeover Portland right before COVID started, where he challenged Keith Lee for the NXT North American title, and that was probably by far one of the craziest matches I had ever seen. Ever. Yeah. Yeah, literally, it was two big men doing things that you do not want to see big men doing. Moonsaults. Monkey flips. Flying through the ropes. All that bullshit. When you see a big man in the ring, you would normally see a big man just using his body, his size, and his power as a weapon. Not with Keith Lee and Dijak. And I have a feeling that if Dijak became the number one contender against Opa Femi, you ain't gonna be seeing that kind of bullshit. I'm just throwing that out there right now. But speaking of things that are out there, next up is Andre Chase. I get that people are probably gonna say that that Andre Chase doesn't deserve it. You know, he's better off as a teacher and shit. But think about this. If you look at Andre Chase's record, you look at what he's done for NXT, you guys seem to forget, alongside Duke Hudson, he's a former NXT Tag Team Champion. Yeah, sure, it may have been short-lived, but think about this. If he became NXT North American Champion, that could do wonders for the entire university, because by him becoming NXT North American Champion, that's a lot of paper that can be invested directly into Andre Chase University, and Andre Chase would be completely out of debt within months. Just throwing that out there. But let's also not forget as well, Andre Chase has literally years of experience on his side. So if you look at his championship run, like at some of the different championships that he's won, think about this: All-Star Wrestling British Heavyweight Champion, Battle Zone United States Champion, Full Impact Pro Tag Team Champion, ranked number 500. Think about that. Of the 500 wrestlers in the PWI 500 in 2023. Yeah, that just proves that that just proves that fans don't give a damn. That just proves it. But think about this: Premier Wrestling Experience Tag Team Champion twice, alongside a man named Lancelot Bravado. And not only that, again, NXT Tag Team Champion. He's won championships everywhere he's been. But not only that. Think about this. He even also competed in promotions like TNA, Pro Wrestling Noah, as well as as well as uh, Ri- uh, Ring of Honor and several other promotions, um, as as well. So he's he's world pretty well world traveled, if you will, and I think that right there is what might give him the chance to potentially challenge Femi for that North American title. And the last one up is Dragon Lee. He is obviously he is 100% owed a rematch. Not much else to say about that. I would have put Dominic Mysterio on this list, but let's be real. Even with the Judgment Day helping him out, it still wouldn't matter. It still would not matter. Femi would just completely demolish Dominic Mysterio. But with that being said, guys, let me know down in the comments below who you guys think should challenge Femi for the NXT North American title. Let me know down in the comments below. And that will do it for this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.